How do you sum up a man's life in a few words? A man who was simple, a man who was kind, a man who shared the love of God with everyone he met. You will be missed, my boy.
How y'all doing?
My man.
Salute.
Okay.
God loves y'all.
Heard that.
By the way, God bless all of y'all. Name is Kregg Black. Name is Kregg Black. By the way, God bless all of y'all and salute.
When a man dies, he leaves a legacy. What legacy did Kregg Black leave for all of us? How will Kregg Black, a.k.a. Krab, be remembered 20, 30, 40, even 100 years down the road? Krab touched so many lives. So many people found hope, love, and inspiration from a man who was so simple, so loving, so open-minded. What lesson can be learned from Krab? What can we take away from his life and this legacy left for a town who needs something inspiring at a point right now? I made it my mission to find out what Krab's legacy was. What is it that he's leaving for us that we can take with us and remember him by for the rest of our lives?
My name is Tasha Smith.
Good to meet you, Matt Cotrier. Good to meet you, Tasha.
Nice to meet you,
Yeah.
Matt.
So tell me, you knew Krab?
Well, he is a family friend.
Okay.
My family is the McDowells. So he grew up with my Uncle Arnold, who was a basketball star at Central.
Okay.
And he later on got drafted for the Kansas City Kings when they had
nice.
a basketball team. And Krab has been in our family for years.
Yeah.
He was like a brother to us.
Wow, yeah.
You know, anytime or anywhere, he was a special kind of guy because he was very independent.
Mm-hmm.
We never knew how much he really had.
Yeah.
He just had it.
Yeah.
He had love. He had friendship. He had kind words.
He did.
And he had this wave.
Yeah, what was that? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do the wave.
Yeah, the Krab wave, yeah.
That was his wave.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
Yeah, it was unique, right?
And I don't know where that came
I
from.
don't either. So tell me, you just said that he rode bulls.
Oh yeah,
That's incredible.
I think shortly, after because he was in the military
Yeah.
at one point.
Wow.
And then he came back here, and you know how we would have the rodeo here,
Yeah.
at the livestock show at Lakeview out there at the Coliseum.
Right.
He was a part of that.
Wow.
But he did the rodeo clown thing first, and then he always had a knack for horses.
Oh, really?
You're talking about a horse whisperer.
Yeah?
Yes,
Wow.
the broncs and stuff like that. He would break them.
Yeah.
There would be some Hispanic guys, some black guys that would take him out to Grape Creek or over there in Lakeview, because my family is the Edmonds, and he was connected to them. So they had like a big horse arena. They were horse people.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Danny, Edmond,
Sound familiar.
Bobby,
Yeah.
them Artie Charles.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember those guys, but Krab was along in that family, and he
Okay.
went to them and got his cowboy skills.
Okay, wow. And he was a rodeo clown, too,
Yeah,
for a
he
while.
was a rodeo clown for a while.
That's awesome.
Yes, and my dad, Wayne Blanford, was connected to the Edmonds, and he was a
Okay.
steer dogger. So
Nice.
when, after everybody's gotten old and we would come back to town and everything, and my dad would always hook up with Krab. His name is Kregg.
Kregg, yeah.
His name is Kregg.
Yeah. When was the first time you ever met him? Were you little?
No, yes.
Yeah.
And
That's
he's
cool.
always dressed like that.
Yeah, always.
I've never
I love that.
seen him in a regular pair of jeans and nothing. He was just everything was creative, and because he rode a bike, everything was like neon.
Yeah.
So that you could see him.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
Kids, he loved kids.
He did, huh?
He
Yeah.
loved kids. I
was
never
always
known
blessing
him
kids.
to harm a kid.
Yeah.
If somebody ever said that, we never knew it.
That's not. Yeah.
No,
he
that
always
wasn't him.
like was giving him like $1 or giving him something.
Yes,
you know.
and he watched them. He was just a part of our lives.
Yeah.
And
He's
to
gonna be
miss him,
missed.
because you
Yeah.
see him everywhere.
Yeah, he's like part of like the fabric of the community, you know, like a fixture. Yeah.
He was, and he didn't cause any if he
No.
did, but he was somebody that you didn't want to mess with.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Nah, you didn't want to mess with him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You didn't want,
wanna
as
cross
bad
him
as
like
he
that.
walked and whatever, I
Yeah.
don't think I don't know if he was missing some limbs.
That's what I heard. Vernon over here on I think 17th, he told me. He said, "Yeah, he had prosthetic legs." I said,
Both.
"Seriously?
True.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't
why
know that."
Yes,
he
that's
said,
why-
"I remember when he was a little kid, and he was crawling around without legs at all." I said, "What? That's wild. I didn't know that."
I don't know if that happened when he was a little kid.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He just said that. I don't know. If
I
that's
don't know
true.
that,
Yeah.
but handsome young man
Yeah?
growing up. Oh,
Yeah?
he was a beautiful guy
Yeah.
growing up. Very,
Dang.
very neat. You know, his
Yeah.
mom and dad, they worked really hard, you know.
Yeah.
Even though we grew up on our north side and we were considered as a poverty-stricken
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
their family had it.
Oh, really?
Their family had it.
Interesting,
His
yeah.
mom and dad, they worked hard.
Yeah. What do you
And-
think that will be remembered most about Krab?
His wave.
Me too, right?
That
His
wave.
kindness in that wave.
And that wave.
Yeah.
I really
Oh,
think
man.
that Krab's heart was good.
I do too.
He rode a bike everywhere.
Yeah, he did.
You have no choice but get good cardiovascular.
That's true. That's right.
His
Exactly.
heart was strong.
That's right. Well, you think it'd be cool if they put an actual tribute statue in the park? You think that would be cool?
I think that would be cool.
I do too.
I think that
that'd
would be
neat.
cool.
Yeah.
But just something.
Oh, with him like doing this on his bike.
that wave.
Oh,
That
like he's
wave.
like got one hand on the bike and he's
And
doing
he's
this.
waving.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Well, thank you so much for this.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
so sweet
You know
for
what?
doing
I
this. You are so
appreciate that.
sweet. What do you say about a man who touched so many lives just with his kindness, who was a simple man, loved riding his bike? I think we all want to leave a legacy like that. Next, we went over to Chadburn Street to see another friend of Krab's, where he spent a lot of time to talk to Mr. Alfred Ruiz. So, just tell me about how you met Krab.
Well, I met Krab. His name was Kregg Black.
Kregg Black, yeah.
I met him about 10 years, maybe longer, when I used to be across town,
Yeah,
by the mall.
yeah.
And he used to stop out there and, we have good conversations in there. He helped me up a little bit, cleaning up,
Yeah, you'd pay him a little bit
Pay
to
him a
clean
little
up.
bit,
Yeah.
And then he would just, after that, in the afternoons, he would just leave.
Yeah.
And he said, God bless you.
He did this wave.
God bless you.
Yeah.
And then, like if everybody honks and
Outside where they would honk and he would do that?
yeah. And then
Yeah.
after that we moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did the same thing.
Yeah.
We made back again and he still ride his bicycle.
Yeah.
He'll stop in the afternoons and
Yeah.
he needed air on his
Yeah,
tires.
yeah, yeah. So you give him some air with the
Give him
compressor?
some air in the
Yeah.
compressor and then he,
And you said he
After
always
that-
asked for a beer? You give
He
him a
said-
beer?
do you have anything to drink? I said,
Yeah.
sure. You know where they are.
Yeah.
So we'll come out there and grab his own.
Lone Star, right?
Lone Star
yeah,
beer.
dude.
And then he had 2 or so, and
Yeah.
then we walk outside and we started recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what would he say?
Well,
Like
I'm
do an ad
I'm
for you?
here hanging out with my brother Alfred here
Yeah.
at Alfred's upholstery shop right here.
Yeah.
We can help you in anything you need.
Dude, that's cool, man.
And then if you want a limousine too, we got that too.
Yeah. So,
And then I heard the honk beep beep, and he goes,
Yeah. So, what would you say, like, you learned from Krab? Like, what would you say you'll remember most about him?
He was just an awesome person.
Yeah.
Really awesome. He was such a sweet guy. And,
He was, right.
Yeah.
Such a kind heart.
Yes, sir. And man, I can't believe he's gone.
I know, dude. Yeah.
And we're just gonna miss him.
We sure are, dude. Well, thank you, Alfred,
Yes,
man.
sir.
This was so great, brother. Thank you again for doing this again.
It was interesting to see how many lives Kregg impacted and how many friends the man had. And just like Alfred, he just spent so much time hanging out, drinking a beer, promoting Alfred's business, just being buddies with Alfred. Next, as the sun was setting, we went over to a local bar called Lisa's Bar, where Kregg sometimes hung out and drank a few beers with another friend of his, Mr. Ernesto. Ernesto supposedly knew Krab from way back in the day, so this was a chance to really get to hear some background on Krab.
So I'm here with Ernesto. Thank you, man, for doing
Yes,
this.
sir.
Yeah. So tell me how you knew Krab.
I
Yeah.
grew up on 23rd West Side,
Okay.
and Krab was a person that stuck out.
Yeah. You
The
knew
way
him all
he
the way
dressed.
back then?
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
first met him, it was like he was riding his bike down Chadburn, and it was like, you know, that guy just stuck out.
He did, right. Yeah.
It wasn't until maybe 2 years later that I started getting into basketball, and we were going to Carl Ray Gym,
Yeah.
and he was carrying 2 watermelons
Yeah.
and trying to maneuver his bike.
What?
And I rode right beside him, and
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you need some help? He was like, yeah, I'm trying to take this to my auntie.
Oh, they.
So I grab a watermelon, he takes one, we go to a house to drop him off.
Yeah.
And I went on my way, he went on his way, and then maybe a couple of weeks later, I saw him again.
Really?
On
Yeah.
MLK Park,
Yeah. He was always around there, huh?
by the old Kmart. There used
Yeah.
to be a
Oh,
Kmart.
bro. Yes.
Yeah.
I love the old Kmart.
And
yeah.
anyway, we went to play basketball. That's where we'd meet up. And I would always see him at the courts,
Yeah.
either MLK Park or Blackshear.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the real competitive
Oh, was
players
he
were
good?
at. He never played,
Oh, he didn't. Okay. Yeah.
but I guess he betted on games. You know, and,
Yeah.
and we played 2, 3, up to 5 man.
Nice, dude.
That's
Full court.
Full court.
Woo! I used to do that,
And,
bro. Wear
I mean,
you out.
Yeah, we were youngsters.
Yeah, dude.
He was young.
Yeah.
But he was always on his bike. He was always happy,
Always.
smiling.
Yeah, right.
And this was his old stomping ground.
Really?
From the freeway,
Yeah.
before the freeway was there,
Okay.
all the way to 29th Street.
Okay, yeah.
I never saw him cross Chadburn,
Wow, interesting. Yeah.
but I'd see him all the way on Lily Street, Brown
Uh-huh.
Street, you know, in,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah.
And I guess a lot of people looked at him different because
Yeah.
he was different.
He was, yeah.
But if you got to know him, he had a personality that I'll never forget.
I know, right? Never.
Never.
He was like, what shocked me about him was he was so, like, he had such a good heart. You know what I mean? Like, he was always so kind to everybody. And I just wish more people were like that,
Yeah.
dude. And he didn't have much, you know?
And I didn't really start knowing him until I guess it was around 1989, 90.
Yeah. Okay.
When I first got my first vehicle and started adding rims and hydraulics, and you know, I had a nice lowrider.
Yeah.
I was a youngster.
What kind of car was it?
79 Monte Carlo, Landau
Ooh.
edition.
Nice, dude.
And it was my first one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cinco de Mayo, we met up at the lake. There were a lot of car clubs out there. the originals to me.
Yeah.
To me, they were the originals when I got into the scene.
Yeah, I got you.
And they were like at the, you know, the sun's starting to set. Hey, we're gonna pass by. We're gonna cruise Randolph.
Yeah.
We used to cruise Chadburn and Randolph.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And make the loop and go all the way back. You
Wow,
know?
dude. Yeah.
And every time we'd pass by the park, Krab was out there. And I saw the story that you did earlier where you were asking what was this
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. What was his wave about?
His wave was when he'd see us cruise by the park,
Yeah.
he would be hopping. So we, you know, back then nobody really had switches. There was maybe 6, 7 rides.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why he would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it,
Yeah.
and then he started like when people would honk at him or
Yeah.
whatever, he started like.
Okay. Yeah,
you know,
he put that in
and
there.
he was always doing it.
He was, bro. Always.
and because he was such a believer
Yeah.
in God.
Yeah.
And he always, you know, he always gave you the be with God, you know.
He did, man.
Like
yeah. I love that.
To Raza and Mexicanos, to us, it's a bendición. Like
What's
he's
that?
blessing you. You
Wow.
know, have a good
Yeah.
day.
I like that, bro.
But it was always that
interesting.
You know.
Yeah.
As I left the bar, I just started walking and thinking about Krab and all the different friendships he had and the lasting impact he made on people's lives. It was interesting to hear about how it all started back in the past. The next day, I took to the streets again to see if I could find anybody and everybody who might have known Krab, even if just briefly or just barely knew him, to see what they thought about the man.
So, what's your name, sir?
Randy.
Randy. Cool. So you knew Krab?
Yeah, I've known him for a while. Not real close with him, but I knew who he was.
What'd you think about him?
He was a good guy, man. Mind his own business. If he could help you, he would. You know, and pretty much in a nutshell,
Yeah.
had a good heart.
Do you know the Krab way?
Yeah. He's been doing that since I've known him, since the early '90s. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. So you always had good experiences with him and stuff?
Yeah, I've never had a bad one. No.
Yeah. He'll be missed.
Yeah.
I think kind of the legacy he's leaving, from what I understand, is two things really is everybody's worthy of God's love and that we should be more kind to each other.
Yeah, that's right. That's true, man.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're in a bad mood, you know, if you can help somebody, you know, even if it's just a smile or hey, how's it going? Keep your head up. You think it's gonna be all right. Sometimes that right there, man, might save somebody's life. You know, you may not realize it, but you know, you don't know what that guy was fixing to go do due to the circumstances, and you walking by just saying, "Hey, keep your head up." You may have helped him and other people. You know, I mean, you never know what one little small.
That's exactly right, man.
What one good deed does, man.
Thank you, brother.
No problem, man.
When you think of a legacy, you think of having to leave things for people, or leave money or an estate or something tangible. But a true legacy is something that'll never be forgotten, something you're remembered by, and something you gave the world.
He had this way.
Yeah. What was that? Do you know?
I don't know.
You were asking what was this?
Yeah. Yeah.
about?
What was his wave about?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
My man.
Salute.
Okay.
God loves y'all.
Heard that.
And in the end, it was obvious. It was obvious what Kregg Black, a.k.a. Krab, was leaving as his legacy. What he was leaving for his friends and his family, for his acquaintances, for the San Angelo community, and for the world. It was 3 important truths. Love each other, be kind to one another, and God loves you. Is there anything really more important than that? Kregg Black, you will be missed by so many, and we're so grateful for the precious gifts you gave us and the reminder that you left for all of us. Rest in peace, Krab.
Hola, hola. And salute to my little mija.